So to create a custom built-in like you see here, there's a few ways to do it in SketchUp. We're going to focus on drawing the elevation and then doing a push-pull from there. So we'll come over to our blank space. There's a couple of things you want to do to set up to make sure you have a clean surface and kind of easy to work with. One, make sure that your floor is a group. That will keep your built-in from sticking to it. And then the next thing I'm going to do is come under Tools to Section Plane. And I'm going to go ahead and add a section plane. You don't need to name them for what we're doing. It's unless you're super organized, it's not something that we need to keep up with. You'll place the section, and you want to do it where it's going to come across the wall that you want to kind of remove. Lots of times, and you'll kind of see mine came in orange, and it can place a few different places. So you'll just select it so that it's blue, and then you can use your move tool to move it in. And I want to come in all the way past my sofa so that I have an easy view of this. Then the easiest thing to do is kind of move around till you find your view that's going to show that clean surface. And I would make sure that it is on parallel projection in your screen so that everything draws nice and flat. Again, you're going to want to make sure that all of your lines are drawn on the red or green axes or blue, red, green, or blue axes, so that everything comes together and works the way it should. So since my walls are grouped and my floor is grouped, I can now start drawing and know that my lines aren't going to connect to anything. So you're going to want to come over and decide where you want it to start. You can either set a specific location or just kind of pick a starting point that works for you. And then you want to go in and kind of draw the overall space and height. So we're going to make this 7 feet high, and we'll make it 9 feet wide. Come across, and again, anytime that you know that you've drawn a completed shape, which is what we're looking for in SketchUp, it will shade in and turn white. So we know we've got that started. Now I'm going to come up, I'm just going to come up about 3 inches and come across. This is my, my toe kick, my base. So you can use guidelines or guide points. I lots of times just like to draw a line. It seems to be the most foolproof method for me. So for instance, I'll come up and I'm going to do another one at 34.5 inches. And I'm just typing in my measurements. So that's kind of the bottom of the countertop. And I'm going to come up 1.5 inches. So that puts the top of my countertop at 36 inches, which is a standard height. Since I made this 9 feet, I'm going to do 3 3-foot cabinets and split them in half. So again, I'm just coming over, typing in my measurements. SketchUp is set. You can type in inches and then it will convert it. If you want to type in feet, then you would type in, I'd put 3, single hash mark for 3 for feet, and hit enter. So just make sure you remember kind of what measurements each system uses. You're going through that. It's now created a midpoint for each of these sections. So I can use that just to divide. I'm just going to do double doors on each one, cross, and then I'll also determine the size of my uppers. 2 feet. And that kind of gives me my basic starting point. So now I'm going to use this offset tool and come in, and each of these has created a rectangle. So I can just I'm putting 2 inches to give a 2-inch frame on each of my doors. And I can just come in and do that for each one. We'll set that. So then at this top, I want to add, and I can either go up or down. Or actually, I'm going to come over. I'm going to come over 2 inches and then go up 6 inches. And I'm basically creating what's going to become my header trim. Do some math. 9 foot 4 inches should put me where I want it. Come over, and that's added that. So now if you want to do kind of curved pieces and step back to kind of give it some dimension, you're just going to come in and draw that. And I'm going to start just by drawing it with straight lines. This will make sure that everything is on, again, that red or green or blue axes. Then I'll come back with my arc tool and just add those. And then you can come in and delete your straight lines. And you can also delete this extra that you have here. So now when you extrude it, it will give you what you need. If you want to make sure you get the exact same spacing on this, I'm going to come in. I hit the move key and then hit control. It's going to change it to copy. So I'm going to move it just over here. Make sure I place it on the face, but off to the side, because then I'm going to come in and right here you have your flip tool. I'm going to choose the vertical axes and you can see that it flips it. Now I can move it this edge here. And that way I know I have the exact same on both sides. So then you will come in and create the widths of your edges. We'll just do 2 inches for these. You'll also want to create your shelves. So again, you can use the copy or your move. Make sure you select what you want, hit move, control, that makes it a copy. And then I can pull it up and go ahead and put that I want it to be 1 inch. So that's an easy way to copy those lines and make sure they're what they need to be. So I'm not gonna complete all of this, but you'll come in and you'll draw all of your lines that you need for this, and then we'll come back and pull it.